I think every bass player wants an acoustic bass. And I think there are plenty of cases in which, as a bass player, you might very well need an acoustic bass, and the options are endless. If you search the internet, you can see there are a lot of companies that really offer you a lot of different selections in terms of an acoustic electric bass guitar in a lot of different price ranges and categories. There are some down around $200 and $300. Then you can get up into the $600 range and find some very nice things. You could go up to the $1,000 and beyond range. I've seen some really expensive ones out there and seen some really expensive ones at NAMM, but they were really cool and seemed very worthwhile. It's all about whether or not the acoustic bass is something you're going to use and a sound you're going to need. Okay, so hello and welcome to the Rumblin' Man YouTube channel, guys. My name is Rumblin' Man, and this is a YouTube channel for guitar and bass players alike, in which we check out gear, tips, and other related things in pursuit of the best tone we could possibly get. And when it comes to acoustic bass tone, that's something we haven't really examined here on the channel a lot before. However, we're going to examine it today. So do me a favor real quick, and if this is the kind of content you enjoy, please hit subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. And if you are a return viewer or one of my regulars, please do me a quick favor and go on and smash the thumbs up button to help me get plenty of views and good feedback on this video. So, I had a situation not long ago in which I was playing bass as a worship bassist for a church. And one day they wanted to go to a local beach park and do some playing out there, just kind of on the curb, and no sound system. So I brought an acoustic bass with me. Well, so imagine that kind of scenario, or the kind of scenario in which your church is doing a stripped down, more acoustic driven, gutsy kind of worship service one day, and you want an acoustic electric bass for that. Or you're a studio bass player, it's a sound you need. Or you're in a rock band that's going to do some stripped down sets. Whatever the case might be, in those types of environments, you do need a good acoustic electric bass because it really enhances the vibe of the environment, and it can be a very cool sound. But now imagine this, the acoustic electric bass you get, all right, it's a medium scale, so it's very player friendly, and it's a fretless, which gives you an extra cool thing in your sound, maybe even kind of get some of that upright vibe going. Well, that's the kind of vibe you would get with this acoustic electric bass guitar by Aria. This is the FEB-FM2 FL from Aria Guitars in Japan, and it is very lovely. I'm going to talk to you about some of the key features and then give you some more demos. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to give you my personal opinion, my personal take on this bass, what I think of it, would I get it, etc. So, very lovely flame top. This is actually a flame NATO top. Very lovely looking, very nice smooth satin finish. If you like satin finishes, you're going to love this bass. All right. Now, here's a cool thing. Usually when you see flame tops, you don't see flame back and sides. Well, with this bass, you do. So we've also got a flame NATO side right here and a flame NATO back. That's beautiful. Wow. Then the neck is actually a NATO neck. And then on the front, we have a rosewood fretboard, which is fretless. These are some bronze, they look like 80-20 bronze bass strings from Aria. And then another really cool feature about this bass is instead of the general acoustic sound hole in the front, we actually have these two F holes, which is a really beautiful design. The sound still comes out very nicely, and I like it quite a bit, okay? So real quick, though, before I talk about some more features, how does it sound acoustically? Most of the demos I'm giving you today are plugged in. But real quick, I want to put a microphone in front of this bass just so you can kind of hear a little bit of how it projects when you're playing it unplugged. Let's check it out. So a very cool sound. I actually really like how this bass sounds unplugged. I like it even better than the plugged in sound. It sounds really cool. We have black hardware for the strap pegs and the pins down here at the bridge. The bridge is rosewood. And then up here at the headstock, we've got Aria's logo, along with the black hardware we mentioned before. The bass is crafted in China, but designed by Aria Guitars in Japan. For the electronics, we have an undersaddle pickup, accompanied by Aria's preamp. This is the AEQ4B by Aria Guitars, and it's a great functional preamp. It's got a nice tuner on it to help you keep in tune, and I must say, I've noticed the bass stays in tune pretty well. Battery light, which is always good to have. We got a notch filter for finding feedback. We've got an overall volume knob, and then a 3-band EQ featuring treble, mid, and bass. And then what we have here is really nice. We have kind of a tone knob in this presence knob. And kind of what it can do is, in the lower register, it can take you from, a less trebly, less defined tone to in the higher register, a more open, a more trebly, more defined tone. So real quick, I want to give you a demonstration of what that sounds like when you use this presence knob. So first we're going to hear it toned all the way down at 0, then up in the middle at 5, and then all the way at 10, just so you can hear a little bit of the plugged-in variation of tone you can get with the presence knob alone. Let's check it out. So very cool. So before I give you my take on this bass and my opinion of it, cool sound for you here. I love to mess around with like ambient bass playing, especially like in the worship realm. And I found that playing with a pick and doing some palm mutings and with a little bit of ambience in the effects, I can get some really cool picked sounds with this bass. So let's take a listen to that real quick. You may dig it. So my verdict, is it cool? Is it not? It's extremely, extremely cool. So let me tell you the things I like and the things that are not really preference to me, but they're really not big hills to die on, okay? The things I like is I love the flame wood. I think it's a beautiful bass, and I love the whole thing being finished in satin, very smooth to the touch. It's a fun playing experience. I love the F-holes. I love the styling of this bass. I think it would work great for going to the beach or to the park. I think it would work great for, an acoustic worship service or playing acoustic on a recording. So that's all very cool. Things I don't care for so much. I don't really care for the plugged in tone a ton. I feel like I have to, get rid of as much presence and as much treble as I can to get the best sound that I can. That said, with the flexibility you have with the presence knob and the 3-band EQ here, there's a lot of flexibility you can get in tone. And obviously working with it, I was able to get some sounds I liked. It just took a bit of tweaking on my end to do so. As far as the playing experience goes, I just feel like it can be a little hard to stay on the note when you get up into the upper register of the frets, and there are none. So the upper register of the fretboard, I feel like it can be a little hard to keep the notes dialed in. Some of that is going to be the nature of fretless bass. And, I play fretted bass mostly, so that's just something I have to get used to. So something to be aware of is if you're going to go fretless, be ready to play fretless. It's not a fretted bass. It's not going to play like a fretted bass. It's going to be playing like a fretless bass. The strings are fine. They don't blow me out of the water necessarily. It might be fun to put some tapes on it or something like a lot of people do with their acoustic basses, but for now, I think these rounds are just fine. So really, is it a love-hate relationship? No, I really like this bass. I think it's fabulous. There's a couple things that I would change here and there, like I mentioned, but they're not big deals whatsoever. I'm just nitpicking. When it comes to this bass, if you want to select this one, I think it's a great one. It's nice to have the F-hole design, the medium scale, the fretless board as options for an acoustic-electric bass, okay? Do me a favor, let me know in the comments, what is your favorite acoustic bass? I would love to hear about it because I'm very interested in what the greatest and most favorited acoustic basses out there are. And if you want to pick this bass up, I've got a link in the description where you can go and pursue that option, okay? So thank you all so much for viewing this video. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.